Steel screamed against ice as we forced the USS Dominance to the surface. The hull groaned like it was alive, like it didn't want to break through. Red emergency lights flickered over frost-covered panels. Men were shivering at their stations, breath turning to smoke inside the control room. Equipment was failing, one system at a time. We were a nuclear submarine, one of the most advanced machines ever built, and the Arctic was crushing us like a soda can. They told us it was a routine patrol. It wasn't. I remember whispering the words before the hatch even opened. They said it was just a routine patrol. They lied. This ice, it's a graveyard, and we just woke the dead. When we breached, the night above us was black and endless. No stars, no moon, just wind tearing across fractured ice. And then, sonar picked it up. At first, it was nothing. A distortion, a shadow in the static. Then, it moved. Massive, smooth, silent. A Russian Predator-class submarine. Bigger than us, newer than us, designed to be invisible. It had been under the ice the entire time, watching, waiting. We were never supposed to detect it. 2 days earlier, we had followed a faint signal north of Greenland. Command labeled it anomaly tracking. That was all. No details, no context, just coordinates and silence. But that signal wasn't random. It pulsed in precise intervals, artificial, intentional. When my executive officer decoded fragments of the transmission, we realized the signal wasn't coming from a submarine. It was coming from the seabed, a fixed structure, a base. And the moment we surfaced, the Predator began to circle. We requested backup. Washington responded with a delay that felt deliberate. Then the message came through, cold and bureaucratic. Political sensitivities prevent escalation. Maintain observation. Observation. We were crippled, outgunned, outmatched, and they wanted us to observe. That's when I understood. We weren't hunters, we were bait. Someone in the Pentagon had fed us coordinates that drifted too close to Russian territorial waters. If we disappeared beneath the ice, it would be blamed on mechanical failure. No scandal, no witnesses. A mole had sent us into a trap. Instead of retreating, I gave the order to dive. If they wanted us dead, I needed to know why. We descended into black pressure. 3,000 meters down, the ocean felt alive, squeezing the hull inward. The steel creaked with every meter. Then through the forward cameras, we saw it, lights beneath the ice shelf. A submerged Russian research facility anchored to the continental slope. We intercepted fragments of their internal network. A project name surfaced. Permafrost. At first, we thought it was climate research. It wasn't. The facility was built around a methane destabilization device. The Arctic seabed holds enormous methane reserves trapped in ice crystals. Release enough of it at once, and you don't just cause warming, you cause chaos. Superstorms, coastal flooding, global economic collapse. It wasn't a bomb. It was leverage. A weapon aimed at the entire planet. Before we could withdraw, Russian Marines launched from the base and locked onto our hull. Boarding clamps hit like thunder. Gunfire erupted in our corridors. The cold metal passageways turned into a battlefield. We counterboarded. Inside their base, alarms screamed in Russian. Frost clung to the walls. Engineers ran past glowing control panels, and in the center chamber stood their commander. He didn't raise his weapon. I triggered the self-destruct, he told me. A countdown flashed behind him. I thought it was a bluff. It wasn't. Moscow believes this guarantees dominance, he said. I believe it guarantees extinction. He had chosen to destroy the facility rather than let it become operational. The ice shelf above us began to crack. Charges detonated in controlled sequence. If the destruction wasn't precise, it could rupture methane pockets and trigger the catastrophe anyway. My crew was calling me to retreat. Hull integrity was failing. We had minutes. The Russian commander looked at me and said, "No flags down here, only consequences." If we left, the implosion might fail. If we stayed, we might never surface again. I split the crew. Half evacuated back to Dominance. The rest stayed with me. American and Russian engineers worked side by side, rerouting power, overloading containment systems, forcing the collapse inward instead of outward. The facility imploded, not with a fireball, but with a deep, crushing roar as the seabed swallowed it whole. The methane remained trapped beneath layers of sediment. We'd barely escaped as the ice shell fractured above. The Predator submarine vanished into darkness without firing a single shot. Weeks later, I sat in a windowless room in Washington. They thanked me for my service. They handed me a medal, and they informed me the USS Dominance would be officially listed as lost at sea due to mechanical failure. Project Permafrost would never be acknowledged. Neither would the mole who sent us there. I signed the silence agreement. Now I sit alone at night and watch satellite feeds of the Arctic. The ice is thinning faster every year. New shipping lanes are opening. Military assets from every major power are moving north. The world believes the Cold War ended decades ago. It didn't. It just moved under the ice. We stopped one weapon, but the race for control of the Arctic has only begun. And next time, there may not be a commander willing to choose humanity over orders.